Who knew?
Not know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
are we back on
doke.
YouTube?
I'm going to try to reconnect here.
We do love our tubes.
Yep.
Hey, we are live again. For
Oh,
real.
we can actually see people. Okay. So, we'll start over. And I'll be a little less wordy this time. All right. Shara, welcome to the stream. Blah 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 blah. Buy Cyan things. Give us money at Patreon. Um, okay. And once again, things that are happening. Lovely wife Ellery makes cool stuff. She's having a mini book workshop class on November 5th. Check out ElleryMakesStuff.com. And then, Farrell, let's talk about what your lovely wife does.
All right. My wife, my background today is art by her, as always. A girl summoning a firefox spirit. It's part of a story that she may work on at some point. You can see this and some other work at Koi Lantern on Instagram, including our ongoing Inktober project. The theme this year is Griffins.
Sounds great. Sounds awesome. Okie doke. And let's jump right into the session then. Why don't you go ahead, and Alana, you said you'd be able to do help us with a little bit of a recap. Why don't you go ahead with that?
Yes, I will do my best. A lot happened last session. I think it was our first time having the full group back together in a while, and so we advanced the main plot line, which I believe involved meeting up with the Relima at a kind of a secretive location managed by the was it the Guild of Engineers? Yeah, Guild of Maintainers. And Mashavan had a connection there named Kogan who helped get us set up. And so Audrey arrived there with a bunch of Relima, and we began assembling an evacuation effort for the people of Kennelan, because as far as we knew, they were still in danger from some explosions or eruptions from this strange mountain volcano thing. So Tome kind of helped lead the way and discovered that the entire village there on Kennelan had been burnt down, and seemingly not by accident. The fire did not start in one place, but was maybe lit intentionally in several places. So the rest of the gang linked through as well. Celia helped do some surveying and kind of gave us an aspect that we could invoke. And 5 or 6 Relima came along with us and started kind of cycling back and through, bringing supplies for the evacuation. Meanwhile, we still didn't know where any of the actual people were. And 2 in particular of the Relima seemed a little bit shady, a little suspicious, like they were keeping a close eye on us, but maybe not working closely together with each other. And one Relima, who was a healer, was sort of leading this entire effort. So after a little while of working, Celia noticed that someone was hiding in the brush just ahead. One of the pathways kind of led off into the forest, and there was someone hiding there. So Kenneth rushed ahead to catch whoever it was, and it turned out to be a small child who I do not believe shared a language with us, and was kind of freaked out. So Mashavan and Landris caught up to try to entertain and comfort the child a little bit. And in a short while, an Indigenous woman kind of emerged from another direction, maybe related to the child. She seemed very upset, was screaming loudly. And as soon as Kenneth let go of the child, he immediately ran over and kind of hid behind the woman, who also did not share a language with us. So communication was a little bit tough. But then kind of everything went up in flames even more than it literally already had, because one of those 2 suspicious Relima came running through the woods. And both spoke our language. Is our language English? No, I guess it's just Denis.
Denis.
Spoke both Denis and the indigenous language, and started communicating with the indigenous woman, who seemed to know who he was and not like him very much at all. And then also started exchanging some very rude and threatening words with us. He said that our friends, probably meaning the Relima, had been incapacitated and that we were supposedly surrounded. He referred to the indigenous people, I believe, as expendable, and said that we are, or maybe he referred to everyone as expendable, I'm not sure, and said, you're after the seed and you're not going to get it. So most likely this guy was sort of a double agent working for, what is it? The Cult of the Tree? Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I think he rushed at the woman, and then Landris tackled him to the ground to protect the woman. And we tied him up, and we found that he had a linking book back to Denis in his bag. And I think around that same time, Tome kind of snuck away to go see whether this claim that we were surrounded was actually true. And so she went back to the Lincoln point and found that everyone was gone except for that one other Relima who seemed kind of suspicious as well, and he was unconscious. And so we tied him up and woke him up, maybe using some of Kenneth's smelling salts, I'm not sure. He claims that, I think his name was Ahmet, maybe Ahmet. He claimed that he was innocent, and he tried to assist us, basically. He allowed us to use his key to call Adri. I guess we didn't have Adri's number, maybe.
You didn't really have much of a choice in the matter, but sure.
Yeah. That's true. But he did comply relatively easily, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Adri explained that the last person to link through, people were going back and forth with supplies, but the last person through destroyed the book to Kennelin. And I think we also saw that several pages were torn out from the book back to Denis. So that explains why, the rest of the Relima weren't able to kind of come back through and help us out. We did have our own books that we didn't necessarily disclose to Audrey. I think Audrey wanted us to come back to Denis, but we opted not to do that yet. We didn't let him know that we do have another book to Kennelin. We kind of just wanted to piece things together for ourselves first, because typical us, we don't really trust anyone. And so I think the last note I have here is that some more villagers came back along with the translator and demanded justice. And I think we were about to have some kind of a big confrontation with them. I don't know if anything else happened since then. I don't have any other notes.
So that's where we ended.
So yeah, because Landris is off wandering again, because we're writing that book, and then we were meeting the Relima at what's his name?
Devlin.
Devlin, yes. Gilman, yes, the writer guy. We're meeting the Relima at his place because we kind of maybe trust him a little bit. And Landris didn't as much tackle him as Landris sort of stepped in the way, and he kind of tackled himself into unconsciousness.
Collided with Landris.
Yes.
Okie doke. So yes, here we are. The local people have come out of the forest and are very unhappy. We've got the woman who's translating, the person who seems to be in charge, and after she translates, and we want justice. Several of the other people begin brandishing weapons of various sorts. Bows, big sticks with rocks embedded in them, that sort of thing.
Oh boy.
So
And to
I'll
be
give you
clear-
guys a moment to collect yourselves, and then
Have fun, y'all.
quick pause.
Okay, so is everyone back together in the woods now with both of our prisoner Relima, with the cult of the tree guy and Amit's? I guess they're both with us.
Those two, yeah, Amit's and the cult of the tree guy. Like Thomas said, Laundress is actually out, in another place right in the book. So, probably not close enough to have heard what's going on.
Nope.
Okay. And who do the people seem, the villagers, or the indigenous people of Kenelm seem to be demanding justice from? Is it from these two Relima, or like in particular the?
Well, you're the conscious people currently, so they're looking at you.
Got it.
And they called us devils. So
Yes, Denis devils.
well,
So
it's like I always thought of myself as more as a nymph. No.
I'm saying I think I'm the only person with any points in rapport. So
I have a little bit.
oh, but yeah.
It's at a +1.
Oh, there you go. So okay, so what are you doing?
Let's see. I would like to. This might not be the wise thing, but I would like to get out a writing utensil and a piece of paper and say, okay, what would you like justice for? Item number 1.
The person translates, and the person charged is definitely not the response I expected. Kind of stops me there. You come here, we make deals, and this is through the translator.
Yeah.
You come here, we make deals with you. You make promises, and then you cause the mountain to catch on fire, and then you burn our village to the ground. What sort of you've destroyed our homes. What sort of twisted creatures are you?
So I write down and repeat. Okay. Unwanted intrusion, broken promises, mountain explosion, and burning of the village.
Translate. And a couple of the people are kind of looking at each other and he says, once again through translator, yes. We demand justice. We demand justice for our homes. We demand justice for the loss of our brethren. We demand justice. We demand something for all the work that we've done for you people.
Okay. And so okay, so I reply. Okay, so we have the list of grievances. Now, is this directed at specific people? Is there specific people you want justice from? It is hard to extract justice from the world. Can I have some names?
Translate. He looks very confused. Just like you didn't come here. You owe us. You owe us. Okay. You've destroyed our lives. We've worked for you. We've given things for you. You've destroyed our lives. What are you going to do to I'm trying to think of the right word for it. What are you going to do to pay us back? What are you going to do to make this right? Can you even make this right, or do we need to take our justice out on you?
do a quick aside to Tome. Do you think the bunch of stuff that's already been brought through would help?
The bunch of stuff that's already been brought through, you mean like the evacuation equipment? Well, it's not going to help us rebuild their village. And I'm not sure about the people who have gone missing, but I guess we probably have some medical supplies if needed. I don't know. I think we're not prepared for a full diplomatic intervention here, but I think, I mean, Tome has, +1 in empathy, +1 in rapport as well. So I think she just does also want to kind of join the Shavan here and make it very clear, like, oh, we're not with them. We thought that you might be at risk, you might be in danger. We saw that there were some nearby eruptions and fire, and so we did our best to come here to help. We did not want to work with the Relima. They are, even in our society, are not well regarded, and also we are not with the cult of the tree. The people who have been taking resources from you, have been taking your paper, and we are not with them either. We would love to work with you to maybe put some of these not so great people in their places. Is that something we can do?
Why don't you go ahead and let's roll a rapport roll. And if Mashavan, since you're also talking to them, you can do the same if you like.
I would like to, I don't know. Can I argue that what I've done so far would let me do a create an aspect roll to help Tome?
Yes, but
Okay.
it will be a rapport roll.
Yes, of course.
So rapport out of 4.
Out of 4. Oh boy. All right. Well, that's off to a great start. Yeah, because that is a -1 on the roll for a flat total of 0.
Oh well. I mean, you can, if there's something you can tag, you can invoke, or if you are willing to succeed at a serious cost.
Right.
Jesus. I'm gonna fall down a hole.
Well, note that some serious costs that we've dealt with and that we've done so far have included things like, there being a spy in the group of people, and
our place blew up.
Yeah. So you will get what you want, but it will have an effect. It is, in fact, a cost.
Let's see, and it only goes to a minor cost if I tie, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get
I think that's important because if Tome fails this, they're probably going to bludgeon us to death.
Right.
So they need to believe that there's a lot of Dunny, and we're not all the same. And we're also willing to be against the people that they don't like.
I'm going to spend a fate point and tag leave no stone unturned, and say that we will do everything we can to assist you and bring the bad people to justice. Is that?
And you're doing that for a reroll or a +2?
Reroll.
Let's try it.
Unless I want to tag another one, can I? I don't think anything.
You can tag as many different aspects as you like in the same one, but you cannot tag the same aspect more than once.
Yeah.
But each costs a fate point.
Yep. So I'd have to roll a +3. Okay, so instead it's going to be a +2, and I'm also going to say practical to a fault. Then we will do this the right way. We will do this the best way. We will do this the most practical and efficient way.
I think I'll let you go on that one. Yeah, I think this is something that works with Mashavan's character, I think. So, okay, so that gives you the at a tie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a
I-
tie, yeah. So, and you said you're going for the minor cost?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I guess this is promising in two different ways, promising the best of my efforts
Sure.
to address their grievances.
Okay. Okay, and now, Tome, you have there's an aspect of promises of aid on the scene now.
Of course, grievance number 1 is broken, or 2 is broken promises.
Yes. But so that, and now you can make your report roll.
All right, with that great +1 that I've got. Well, the dice were a wash. They were 0.
Oh.
So that is +1 total.
Okay. You do have a free invoke that you can pull from the aspect that Mashavan created. So that gives you a +2 or a reroll.
Right, and what we're trying to hit here is a 4, or was that just for Mashavan?
4 as well, yeah.
4 as well. Okay, so that could get us up to a 3, but I would probably still need to spend a fate point, or else do a reroll instead of the +2. I guess.
And do a reroll, or you always have the option of success at a serious cost.
Yeah, I would like to make a case that I can invoke one of my aspects here. I don't know if I'm kind of projecting too much from my own assumptions about my backstory, but I think I could maybe invoke mysterious origins to say that.
No, actually, that works really well.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to invoke that, and I'm going to say like I'm more like you than I am like those other people there who are hurting you. I was also, my family was hurt. My people were oppressed when I was very young. I don't remember all of it. And I was taken away from my homeworld, and I found many people who were good and benevolent and well-meaning, but I know that there are some very bad actors in this society, and I want to hold them accountable just as much as you do.
Okay. So this gets translated a bit, and then one of the other people who was amongst the locals, said something, said something to the person in charge to say something back. They point at Tome, and then they point, they kind of go like this, and while they're talking, and the the guy in charge is like, okay, and he starts talking and translating, and in translation it's like. And he points at you while he's talking, Tome. And the translation is, we recognize you are familiar to us. The one Denis that was actually kind to us looks as if they are related to looked as if they were related to you. Given that, and that you have been given, you have given promises to us, which we hope to see results on quickly. We will we will trust you for the moment. However, we would like to see an act of good faith.
I say, let's go look at the evacuation supplies.
Okay, doke.
We
Okay.
have this cult member right here.
Well, or there can be the sacrifice. Sure.
Medical supplies, sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh, so you wave
There's
them
a
over,
flaming
or
mountain, and there's a sacrifice. We've all seen this movie.
exactly.
Where's the bag?
So I guess I'd like to ask them to, if they can haul the cult member along, and between Kenneth and I, we can get the Relima. What was his name? Starting with an A.
Yeah, Amit.
Amit. We can get him at least walking and coming with us.
So yeah, they you know, the guy in charge looks at you know, our unconscious friend, and says, "Oh yes, we know what to do with him."
Uh-oh.
You know, directs
Cool.
you.
We need information from him,
Right.
though.
We would like him undamaged, mostly.
We need the names of his friends because they helped him do these things to you. So if you kill him, we won't find out, and we won't be able to finish your list.
Translate. He will live.
Oh God.
That's not what I expected.
One of the they go a couple of the villagers go over to you know, like kind of like pick the guy up, and it looks like they're kind of like, remember that thing from Return of the Jedi, what they put they put everybody on the pole tied up?
Yes.
That they're kind of rigging something like that up.
Johnny, yum.
The woman who you ran into in the forest,
Mhm.
while they're doing it, comes over and kicks him in the side.
Seems fair.
Yeah, he deserves that.
Amit's kind of inches over to Tome. Is like, "Are you going to trust these people?"
Sorry, who was it who asked that to Tony?
Amit.
Amit.
Because I mean, he's still, you know, tied up and everything, but you know, he's kind of, you know, still a little bit mobile, like hop, hop, hop.
I don't trust anyone right now, but I think there is a tenuous trust between us and between them. And if they act in good faith towards us, we should do our best to act in good faith towards them, because their homes have just been destroyed. And it makes sense that they are pretty upset right now. And so if they're extending any kindness to us, I think we should accept and reciprocate.
Oh, by the way, was Amit still tied up?
Yes.
Okay.
He was when they were upset.
Okay.
So
he said, "I can be of more help if, you know, I am not tied up. I mean, obviously, I'm on your side."
Really?
So I didn't think we were buddy with him yet, because we're still half expecting Landris to get jumped on the way to Devlin's house.
Yeah, you know, if he wants to help us out and he needs his hands to do that, we can, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Well,
But he doesn't need his legs.
we can untie his feet so he doesn't have to be like carried on a pole and dignified like.
Yeah,
But if his hands are
seems
tied
fine.
behind his back, that's reasonable, right?
sure.
Oh, but you're going to leave him his hands tied.
Yes.
It's like, well,
What do you
I have no reason to work against you at this point. You know, obviously we are outnumbered. You are outnumbered. You know, if anything happens, you're gonna need another pair of Denis hands to help you out.
I would say that one more pair of Denis hands would not make much of a difference.
Also, this is so. Do the Relima like have uniforms that they wear? Like,
No.
no, they don't. All right. I think I still kind of want to make the case that like this is a very fragile situation right here, very potentially volatile situation. And we need to demonstrate, they literally asked us to demonstrate that, we're here in good faith. And I feel like kind of
Releasing a prisoner, maybe.
Yeah,
the translator walks over to you and says, we need some instruction on some of these devices and
Oh
that you
God.
have brought.
Oh no.
I mean, and they're like, because they're starting to pick through all the medical supplies and food supplies and stuff, and there's some, basic, there's, medical equipment and that sort of thing. They're like, we do not understand how they work.
I had a brief mini heart. You realize the medical supply. I'm sitting here thinking like they've got weird dunny torture devices that they need our help with over there. The person like, we don't know how any
medical
of those
supplies
work.
can double as torture devices if in
Oh,
pinch.
good Lord.
A little bit is medicine, a lot is poison, right?
Oh, good Lord.
Can you provide us some instruction?
Just kind of medical skills. I forget which one of us has the most like medical know-how.
I've got +2 to med.
Okay.
I say I have +2 as well, but I'm not there.
Right,
Yeah.
well, that makes you the doctor, Kenneth.
Yep, guess it does. All right.
Okay, so you're gonna help him out?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kenneth's kind of going over that. The guy in charge comes over again. Pulls the talks to the translator a bit, and then comes over to Tome and says, "So," and points to Amet's. Why is this one called Unseen?
He is a member of a secretive and shady order in our society that we are not a part of. And they have been investigating the cult of the tree. And I think that we may all share some common interests in holding the cult of the tree accountable, but the unseen operate in the shadows, and they themselves are not accountable to the rest of Dene society, and we don't fully trust them either. So
are they thieves? Are they criminals?
They don't call themselves criminals, but not everyone likes their actions. They're not thieves.
So you allow these people to do these things, even though they should not be done.
Oh, they're called unseen for a reason. Sorry, I'm not there. We didn't even know they actually existed until yesterday.
Right, there is that point.
Yeah.
We thought they were eradicated.
To do which things?
You said they are untrustworthy. They are a group of untrustworthy people, and yet you said that they are allowed.
Well, if I remember my lore correctly, officially we did try to remove them from our society many, many years ago, and it has only recently come into our awareness that they still exist. And because they seem to share some common interests with us, which hopefully involved helping your people, we decided we needed the help and we would go along with it. But we are keeping a very close eye on them. And that is why this person over here is tied up right now.
They are raiders, I understand. Now, this, and he says something that the guy points towards the cult of the tree guy, and says something, and the translators kind of get startled, and this person over here, and they are tree people.
The question is whether both of them are tree people.
He's pointing to the cult of the tree guy who's being, trussed up.
He's called tree people. Oh.
That's
Is
fair.
the question now?
You said they're of trees, they're tree people. What does that mean?
Do you know about the art?
The art. I mean, we
Maybe
know of
don't
many
go
arts.
into details about that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good idea. They shouldn't know what that paper's for.
that's fair enough.
Kind of the sudden jump in from Mishavan, if I may.
Yeah.
So they are a group that is probably worse than the unseen, and they are the reason we are working with them, with the unseen.
You blew up your mountain.
So the tree people are the criminals.
Yes.
Yes.
They're the real enemy, and the unseen are the enemies of our enemies.
So the tree people are the people who we will extract justice from.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Except for that
We're
one
not
guy
tree
who was like,
people.
So
No,
you are giving us things for restitution. Restitution is probably the wrong word, but you're giving us things giving us in exchange for the wrongs of others.
in essence.
Are you are as they are? You are Denis.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to say yes.
Yes. We are Denis. They did something wrong. I gesture at the burned down village.
Mhm.
I gesture at the mountain. And to make it right, we are helping you and will enact justice on them ourselves.
The guy in charge kind of sits back. He kind of considers you all, looks around. We shall see. And he walks away.
Great.
All right. So Kenneth is, Kenneth is trying to show people, medical things, and unfortunately hasn't had a translator, so has been kind of having you like, yeah.
She has so much patience. That's gonna go great.
Stick the needle right here.
It's like, actually give me that bandage. Okay. Now we can work. No.
The translator comes back and kind of clears that up a little bit. But what are the rest of you doing? Okay, actually, let's have Laundress wander back in.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
created
Well, okay,
your linking
so-
book, and you see them.
Yep.
You see them wander. You see the situation. There's
So-
lots of the natives around. They're kind of milling some people. Kenneth is showing some things.
Well, so yeah, because I wanted to be clear. So okay, so with Laundress writing the linking book, was he then taking a different linking book because he had to write it in the spot in the age? So was he coming back after that, or was he linking back through the Dunny to go meet Audrey and them on his own, and then bringing reinforcements?
I mean, you guys will have to tell me what you were doing.
I don't 100% remember what the plan was at the end, because Laundress wandered off to do his thing, and then the angry people showed up.
Just that was that Adri had said please please bring write a book and bring it to us.
Okay.
So otherwise we can't help you.
And we definitely did not agree to that.
No, just you didn't make any agreements. That's just what he told you to do.
Right. Yeah. We had agreed to meet at Devlin's house.
I remember that's what it's gonna take some time.
Yeah,
it was gonna take time,
Devlin's.
and we were gonna go to Devlin's as a neutral third party spot.
That's the
So okay, so yeah, so he walks back in, and there's all these people now mulling about. Now, okay, are they clearly villager people, or do I not recognize? Like, clearly I'll recognize like Kenneth and Toma and Mashavin and Celia and all them. Does it look like they're in distress?
No,
Kenneth, I guess
they're
maybe
not
because
in
she's
distress.
struggling with.
You've got. So you see, some of them have kind of trussed up the one guy, the one cult of the tree guy, and have him on the pole. And they're being a little rough with him, but Amit's the Relima guy is still tied. His hands are still tied, but he's kind of standing around. There's lots of sort of milling. There's lots of they're obviously locals, or at least not Denis. And there's some of them are kind of watching Kenneth explain things, and some of them are kind of looking around, and there's a few that have kind of obviously kind of set themselves in a little bit of a circle around, just to kind of, make sure that people don't try to run away, sort of thing. But but it doesn't look hostile.
Well, until the strange person who nobody has seen suddenly comes out of nowhere. So he's gonna look up and he's gonna see the trussed up person, and his first thought is, well, that's not protocol. And he's gonna kind of pinch the bridge of his nose and shake his head. And just like, oh God, what has happened?
So
and then he's gonna look. Well, so he's gonna look for everybody else. So he's gonna see the trussed up person. Then he's gonna identify his friends,
which he does.
Realize none of them are in trouble, but then also notice that they're kind of like being kept from leaving. While it's not hostile, it's not exactly friendly, and he's not stealthy.
Yeah,
he's not at all stealthy.
He did protect that woman though, so hopefully
I did protect the woman, so I'm gonna try and maybe see if I can spot said woman, and maybe enter into the scene somewhere near this woman, so I don't end up trussed up as well.
You do come. You are caught sight of by some of the people kind of towards the edge of the thing.
Lovely.
They they pull bows and such like that, and say something which is obviously be careful, who goes there, that sort of thing.
Universal greeting, I'm gonna explain, I'm Laundress, I'm with the Guild of Maintainers, I'm with the other individuals, and I'm going to kind of gesture to Kenneth and Celia and Mashavin and Toma, and hope that they know enough. Like, I'm going to gesture to them. I'm going to gesture to that person who's all trussed up. Say, no, not one of them. One of the free people.
The first woman you encounter, hurries up and says something, and there's a bit of an exchange, that's pretty much, no, he's safe. Are you sure? Yes, sure. Are you absolutely sure? Shut up, you idiots. Just so.
Offer chocolate, universal greeting. Yes, I'm a good person.
Yeah. So they kind of stand down, and she kind of waves you over, and takes you over to your compatriots.
Yes. So, still not entirely convinced we're not being held prisoner at this precise moment. They didn't take my books, though. So I'm like, how's it going, everybody?
Going fine.
This is new.
Amit says, could be better.
He gestures up to the trussed up person. Could be worse.
Yeah, could be worse.
It was like,
so like we should get some tents or something, because we were going to evacuate people. It's going to take time to rebuild a village. A good gesture would be to bring like temporary housing.
Like we're going to act like Dima, the Denis version of FEMA.
So he's gonna look at this Amit guy. It's like, so y'all were gonna evacuate them. Where were you going to evacuate them to?
That was the Relima. How do you say that word again?
Relima.
Okay.
Sorry, Relima.
Relima responsibility.
That's why he's asking Amit.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
yeah,
I don't know what the plan was besides take people who need to be taken to the location in Denis. My job was to keep an eye on you guys.
So they were going to a location in Dunning. So assumingly that was the engineer spot.
Well, at least the first stage.
Yeah, most likely.
So if we got a linking book back to the engineers area, that would be the first spot for them to supposedly go.
Mhm.
But do we trust that spot still? So ultimately, these people were going to Dunny first.
Yes.
We also don't know, though, that they actually want to leave their homeworlds and go to Dunny.
Yeah.
They haven't asked for that at this point.
Yeah.
They seem to want to stay and rebuild.
To be honest, when we came here, I was expecting lava flows. So that's why I was in favor of relocation.
I'm still
Yes,
not
me
convinced
too.
it's not going to happen. We don't know where the descriptive book is. They seem to have suggested that they know we're here. And when little Mr. Trussapants is not checking in, they're either A, going to send backup, or B, they're going to break the descriptive book. Now, luckily, we can kind of look at the linking panel here and see if that's happened yet. I'm assuming the linking book still functions, or at least the panel's showing proper right now. You know, I don't know how it looks when you try to look at a linking book to the place while you're in the age, but I'm assuming maybe the descriptive book isn't broken yet.
Nothing seems askew that you can tell.
So, but we cannot guarantee that that descriptive book will be functional for long.
Oh, we should tell somebody that they need to watch the area that is the link-in point in case somebody else shows up.
In case they fix the book.
Yeah, or something, right?
Yeah, although we don't.
Are we saying we don't have an active watch at the link? Landris is like, okay, she's gonna watch. It's just like, yep, I'm good at this part.
What was that, Kenneth?
I was like, we should actually Devlin to see if he has the descriptive book, if the Guild of Writers are in possession of the descriptive book, and let him know that there could be a plot to destroy the book. Because we can get out. We don't have to worry. We can even take the other Denny with us and then never go back to Kennelin ever again. But the main thing is that we don't want somebody to destroy the book, and while we're in it, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should Devlin.
Well, Bashavin's got a key now. He's got a fancy one. Because he took it from the tree people.
Right. So we're technically the thieves.
We can call it spoils of war.
No.
Repatriation.
It is tactical reappropriation for a common mission objective.
No, there you go. So what are you guys actually doing?
There's one specific thing I would like for us to do if we haven't done it yet, which is that the book Back to Denis had a couple pages torn out. And so I'm wondering, do we know for sure that, what did you call him? Like Mr. Trussy Pants or whatever? The guy up on the truss doesn't have those pages with him, because if anyone does, I think it would be him. He might have just destroyed them, but he might also, he probably kept them. So I would like, while he's unconscious, to just get those pages back and at least have that pick up our sleeve for the future if we need that book again.
Okay. So you're going to search him, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we might have searched him, but I'm surprised we didn't find those pages. So I think someone should take another look.
Okay. Who's going to do that?
Well, he's trussed up. How high up is he trussed?
Oh, he's within, they have him on the pole and he's just kind of on the ground at this point. He's still unconscious. A little worse for wear than you remember him, actually.
Right. I think Landris is going to go keep an eye on the link-in point from his place where he spied before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So which, I mean, the Lincoln point where everybody was coming in, or the Lincoln point of the book you just wrote?
The Lincoln point for where everybody's coming in and where the Cult of the Tree linking books typically go.
Uh-huh.
So, because in the last time I was here, when I was watching the Stranger Guy,
Yeah,
because I wrote the Lincoln book there for that other out of the way, so you could still see the Lincoln point without being seen. But so that's where I'm going to keep an eye on that spot.
Okie doke. Okay, so what is Tomei doing?
Yeah, I mean, if no one else wants to do it, I think this isn't, I don't know if this is necessary.
And it would totally pat the guy down.
Okay, why don't you do that?
Search him if she,
So, yeah.
if she doesn't really care.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to do that first, Kenneth?
Sure.
The only thing that he has on him is actually a rather nasty looking knife. You know, not like, you know, like short sword daggery sort of thing, but definitely it looks like, the sort of knife you'd use for, like, maybe, gutting an animal.
Seems like an important thing to not miss on the first frisk, guys.
But other than that, he's got nothing of interest on him. No pages, no books, no other things.
Cool. All right. Well, Kenneth will attempt to just pocket the knife.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
if
no problem.
anybody, if the villager tries to stop her, she'll just give it to them.
Nah.
Cool. Then she's pocketing the knife.
Yep.
So be careful. That might have like weird frog poison on it or something. Don't cut yourself.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Good point.
What's Mashavin doing?
Mishavin is helping with setting up the temporary shelters.
Okay.
And he's walking everybody step by step. And he has, he has everybody lined up with their own tent. And he says, he demonstrates in big grand motions, okay, stick these two poles together. And he watches to make sure that everyone sticks their pole together exactly the same way. And he says, all right, stick it in the ground. And then he watches to make sure everyone knows.
Okay. You're gonna need. I mean, you only have a few a certain amount of resources because only a certain number of people got through, so you don't have the full amount. But you have enough to get started with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you guys doing? I mean, Mashavin does that. So what's the next step in your plan?
We have a plan?
I don't know.
I think it was a smart idea to enter with this Andrew's suggestion that we should reach out to Devlin about, because we don't actually know where the descriptive book is. We don't know.
That was Kenneth's idea.
Oh, it was Kenneth. Okay.
But yeah, I think it's important. Good. Yeah.
I'm still all for evacuating these people before we have a Riven level situation on our hands.
Yeah.
We could just send a quick message though and say, do you have this book in your possession? Can you get eyes on it in the next, however many minutes? It may, like, we're in danger, kind of a thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who's gonna do that? Can it?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But she'll probably like double check with Tomei, like to like make sure that we're on board, and if something goes bad, like we can run in opposite directions, right? Somebody can run to Laundress, somebody can run to Mashavin, and we can get the heck out of Dodge, right? Yeah. We has books.
Yeah.
Because what if Devlin's the bad guy and all of a sudden like things start crumbling, like, well, guess that's that.
Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and message him?
Yeah.
Was this what you said before?
Yeah.
Okie doke. You get a relatively quick response saying, we do not have the descriptive books for the ages I provided books for. Yeah.
Well, and he didn't even provide the book for this age. We kind of found it on our own.
Yeah.
This isn't one of those.
He says, Adri has informed me of the situation. Are you are you in need of resources? Have you created a linking book that you can bring back to Denis?
Actually, Kenneth has no idea because she didn't talk to Laundress, so she doesn't know the answer to that.
Well, Laundress is back. You can assume he wrote the book.
Well, she can. It's like, well, I didn't specifically ask Laundress because
It is what he's good at.
Yeah. No.
I'm
Devlin
not
says,
sure about
without
status
that,
of
without
book.
that book, we can provide no support.
Okay. All right. So actually, she's gonna speak to Toma and Dee, the other two, as we talked, to just say, listen, Devlin doesn't have descriptive aid, the descriptive book. He says they can't help with another book. Like, are sending Laundress? Like, are sending Laundress through with this book or not?
I'm inclined at this point to do it because we're gonna have to pick somebody.
We might have to explain to the villagers that they might not be safe.
Yeah.
Without informing them how the art works.
Yeah. So I say, Laundress, go ahead. That's my vote.
Now, before I go, do we want to use my rapport skill to try and lessen the blow of, hey, we gotta move?
Well, if it comes to that, Mashavan can go, and Laundress can start talking.
Play diplomat.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we should find out how receptive the people here are to leaving. And also, I kind of want to follow up on what they said about like some of their people going missing or losing people.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're
Oh,
people
yeah.
that need to be, found before an evacuation, or whether they're talking about people who died or.
Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
As they may stubbornly refuse to leave. And then we might have to shake down our dear, tied up friend for more info.
Okay, so who is talking to who?
Okay, well, we should send Mashavan.
Okay.
Right? So, can you take the book to Devlin?
Yep, I can do that.
But
Right.
So we gotta tie things up here and figure out if these people will actually leave peacefully and safely.
All right. So Lander's just gonna give you the book.
Yes.
And then he's going to open up the linking book back to Dunny and go,
So which particular spot in Dunny? Is this back to our office?
I'm sending you to the office because that seems like a better idea than the quarantine zone.
Excellent point.
And those are the two places in Dunny I have books to.
All right.
We have
Back
that
to the
mysterious point in Dunny, but who knows where that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I am off back to the office, and then I walk through the city to Devlin's house.
Okay, we'll get back to you then in just a little bit. So the three of you who are still in Kennelin.
Yeah.
What are you guys up to?
I will help Landry with any, attempts to.
Yeah. So first thing I'm going to ask is how have they been communicating? Is there a translator? Is there, how is the community, figure that out. And then we're going to try and do this without inciting a panic. So
maybe we could tell them that the tree people made threats. And to maybe that they might make the volcano or like the mountain explode.
So I got this.
Away from here.
I got this.
Right?
So,
Okay.
All right. So to the translator, trying to keep this as eloquent while still making it easy to translate as possible. Going to gesture at the trust up guy and say, the tree people have made other kinds of promises they intend to fulfill and keep. The kinds of promises wherein not just the mountain may be aflame, but the very sky and the water to be aflame. Meaning that no one will be able to live here.
At all. That's great.
Landris isn't the smartest. Remember, he's got that he's got that wonderful thing where he's coming to grips with the reality he's not as smart as he believes he is.
There you go.
Wincing at this point,
So-
like she's
so-
wincing visibly.
So before they can do bad promises, we want to help by finding a safe place for you while we rebuild and ensure that those bad promises can never come true and that they are as hollow as the good promises they made to you.
Okay. So yeah, she translates.
That was good.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that was good. Yeah.
She translates to the leader. Leader talks back and says, if these people can light the entire sky aflame, how can we find any place that's safe?
We have places where they cannot do this.
Where? Where is such a place? Is it across the water? Across the
He points to is it a night sky? Is it a day sky?
day sky.
The stars. It's a day sky. So he gestures to the sky and says, "It could be." How do I want to phrase this? This is the like. How do you explain the art without explaining the art?
Well, maybe you could just say, like, the star. Like, do you see stars at night?
Yeah. Do you see the
Right?
stars in the sky at night?
He nods.
It could be at any of these stars, or at a star you have not even had a chance to see yet.
So these books take you to stars, take you to the stars.
Oh, they know about books.
I mean, obviously they've seen people use
Pretty
them.
much.
Yeah,
Like,
he literally just watched Mashava go through one.
yeah,
Yes,
true. Yeah.
yes. The books take us to different stars and different homes like this. And it is through there that we can ensure we find a star that the tree people cannot hurt.
He kind of nods and says, "You are taking your people have taken our home from us. You owe us a new home.
That can be arranged.
That will be
Cool.
justice. Bring, take us to a new home, and we may consider that justice."
Hey,
That-
Longus, that age you wrote?
They said that can be arranged.
Not
As
bad,
long as it's like that can be arranged, and he puts out a hand.
Oh man, that's a big promise.
The guy in charge seems sort of surprised that you responded that way, and so he kind of holds his hand out like that,
And which
like, okay.
So who's going to tell Devlin and Audrey that we
Yeah.
just promised to move these people to a new age?
that was the plan. Okay, out of character. That was the plan already. Like
True.
I have done nothing
Yeah.
but promise them what we already had planned.
I'm just
Okay.
having a lot of misgivings about bringing them to Denise specifically, which given that the cult of the tree are like Denny people, like we're kind of bringing them into the
I'm half tempted to bring them to the crazy clockwork age.
yeah.
Where we have the weird murder bugs and jellyfish. And use that as our staging point
That
to
might
find
be
a new
mean,
place.
though. They'd be like, what the heck, man? But hey, the mountains don't explode with lava. You just get like jelly.
This is not the new home. This is the place before the new home. This is to keep you safe.
Yeah. I think they need the faith even more than we do.
Okay,
They're
so
still fit in our office, that's for sure.
okay,
All
so
right.
that's
So
so you've they seem to kind of start bustling around, and there's talk about that.
getting packed up. Yeah.
Well, they're
So-
not packed up, but they're bustling, and there's
Yeah.
people are talking back and forth. Obviously,
Good.
the news is being distributed amongst the people.
I am going to start taking notes on an age that's suitable for these people.
Okay.
So that if Devlin can't make it happen, I can make it happen as quickly as possible.
Sounds good. Okay, cool. Now, what is Kenneth doing now?
I think she'd probably update Devlin and Audrey, actually.
Okay.
I think that's important to say, like, the people have agreed to be relocated. They're expecting a suitable age, kind of a thing.
Just maybe be careful not to mention our secret.
Oh no. I'm just saying they're expecting like, yeah.
They are the response
a
from
new age as that as restitution for the Dunning blowing up their mountain and burning down their entire village.
The response comes, you have made promises to bookworlders?
Technically, you did, Adri. You said that you'd relocate them.
There's no response.
Laundress did it. No, but yeah, so like technically you did. And yeah, she does have that gonna stand my ground thing. So.
Technically, they promised to evacuate and relocate them. That was why we went to meet the Relia in the first
really
place.
Good. I'm really glad you said that, Thomas, because like, yeah.
That was the whole reason Tomei went along with this plan at all.
That's very true.
Okay, so and Mashavin is still making his way to Adri and to Devlin to meet with Devlin and Adri. What's Tomei up to?
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and try to find out about missing people. You know, is there anyone that's not accounted for? Anyone still out there? Anyone in need of help before we evacuate?
The basic thing seems to be that there were several people that went away with the tree people and did not return. They were told that they were doing something special. You know, they had special jobs.
How many other tree people have you encountered? I don't know who I'm talking to, but I would like to know.
You know, a handful.
A handful. And you mentioned, I guess, if I'm talking to the same kind of leader guy who I was talking to before, you mentioned only one of them was kind to you, and that one looked a little bit like me.
Yes. The bald one was very unkind. The other, they made promises, but then treated us like servants. Especially the bald one. But the one that looks like you, the one that you resemble, at least tried to learn things about who we were and what and our life.
Actually, I was going to ask about the bald one, but I don't know if Tomei actually knows anything about Escher, so I'm not going to ask leading questions.
Or cares right now. You care like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Actually, we only know is because they don't actually pronounce Dunny quite right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, they said Master Escher to y'all when you first went through about the paper.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, they have. They had mentioned Escher's name.
And do you know they were all working together towards some common purpose? I assume they didn't tell you what that was, but they seem like they were all on the same page.
They were definitely they were part of the same group. They were the people who made promises to us in exchange for the paper that we made for them. They apparently needed people to make paper from our trees, and they taught us how to make the paper, and then said that they would improve our village in response.
Did the one who was nice to you ever have disputes with the others or seem to be in any danger?
No danger. They all argued very often.
Still just trying to figure out if this was like an intentional homicide or a total accident.
Right.
Yeah.
We do have that body on Sallow.
Yeah.
Probably figure out what's going on.
Right. Yeah, we totally have a dead body in the suit. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Literal skeletons in our closets.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
You hear sort of a moan. Our trussed up friend seems to be like coming to.
I really want Landris to come over to me just like, so how'd that tackle work out for you, buddy? But that's not really his personality. So, as funny as it would be.
Yeah. So yeah, he's definitely kind of coming to. He kind of slowly kind of realizing that he's restrained,
Screwed,
Uncomfortable.
One of the villagers goes over and kicks him in the ribs.
Landris would approach him actually.
Uh-huh.
So, how do we want to do this? Okay, so he's gonna look him like square in the eye, and just sort of kicking's not the worst thing they want to do to you. They want to do a lot more. They seem to think you owe them. Does Landris know they owe him just? Yes, he does, because he promised them a home.
Yep.
They think you owe them justice. They want their non-metaphorical pound of flesh from you. And you're going to tell me everything you know, or I'm going to let them take it.
Ooh.
He kind of mutters, I don't owe savages anything.
No,
give me that.
You might not. But I'm the only one standing between you and a very, very unpleasant remainder of your life.
You would treat Denis Blood so God, sorry, as a GM my brain just but
right.
You'd be willing to sacrifice Denis Blood for these people?
Well, if you know anything about the Guild of Maintainers, regardless, all life is sacred, and we don't risk an outsider's life just as much as we wouldn't risk one of yours. And from it sounds like over there, you've risked a good amount of their lives, and you labeled them as expendable, which, and he pulls out his little maintainer book, is definitely not protocol.
Yes, that's the best bit.
Best application of protocol so far.
Yeah, exactly.
26.
He moans a bit. It's like, it's like, I'm not. If you can, provide me some medical attention, I might be willing to answer some questions.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And it's like, does he realize that Kenneth's the one that will be administrating medicine?
Oh no! I saw you. I'm like, so he's gonna wave Kenneth over. It's like,
to be like, crack.
He wants medical attention before he tells us anything, and he does the little like the Rock, the one eyebrow raise.
And it's like, right. Let's see. Oh, she'd be very tempted to lean down and do that. Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Okay, good. Everything hurts.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Probably shouldn't do that. Because we can't. Okay, the tricky bit is that we can't really help him without telling the villagers why. Because helping the bad guy is not going to look good for optics.
You could. You've been showing them how the medical stuff works, right?
That's true.
You could have one of them try out their new knowledge on the prisoner.
Oh,
We've got a test patient for you guys. Here you go.
Well, I don't think that's a good idea either.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, she could get mean. I don't know. I'm pretty
malicious
sure
compliance.
She's not very, very happy with the whole tree people thing, and the idea that maybe they might be ready to destroy the book with her, and it probably does have her rather on edge.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So she would definitely. Is he on the ground?
Yeah.
He said, okay. She'll kneel down next to him,
mm-hmm.
appearing to be a bit sympathetic. And she'll definitely press on one of the spots where she saw he was kicked and be like, okay.
Ah!
Like, this is not how things are going to work. Like, it's like, while I am, reasonably good at making sure people, heal up and don't experience pain, I can also cause the opposite of that, and I'm rather out of patience. I don't like your attitude, so spill.
He says, if I answer your questions, will you at least give me enough, medical aid, or at least some painkillers?
Yeah, I can do that.
Fine. What do you want to know?
All right, Landris.
Landris, Tomei. I mean, I don't know what you're what you're doing during this exchange, or if you want to,
You probably noticed this.
I would say, yeah. Like, if not, he would gesture Tomei over as well. We can't just say start with everything. So I guess the most pertinent question, and the thing that you seem to think everybody's after, but yet we have no knowledge of, is this seed. What is the seed?
Ooh, right to the heart of the matter.
And he's already like gestured Tomei over, by the way. So.
He says you wouldn't understand.
Try me. I memorized the book. Tap, tap, tap.
The seed is something that's reserved only for the faithful. What else do you want?
So he's gonna take. I assume our painkillers are like, a little leaf or like a pill or something. He's just gonna take one out of Kenneth's bag and start crumbling it up and just destroying this painkiller in front of him.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you have provoke at all?
I have rapport and athletics and intrusion.
I have so much provoke. No, I'm kidding. I only have one.
Because if you're trying to intimidate, that would be a provoke action.
I am trying to aggressively negotiate.
Aggressively negotiate. Go ahead.
This
and
is so Landris, FYI. Like he's just a dumb kid.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead. This is going to be kind of a tough one to do with rapport because rapport is more collaborative. So this is going to be a rapport roll at a 5.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I got a +4.
Help me, help you, help us all.
That's a 5.
You got a 5?
That's a 5. That's 1 with a +4. So that's 5. So.
Okie doke. So here's what I'm going to do. The people who are there, Tomei and Kenneth and Landris, each of you make a empathy roll at a 3.
I only got a +1 on this.
Oh, I got exactly 0.
I got a 4.
Oh, damn. I got a 5.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So
empathetic.
Okay, so your friend here is agreeable, and we'll have essentially that we can give you an option. We can either continue to role play the questions, or based off of your roles, you can each get a certain number of questions, 1 for Landris, 2 for Tomei, that you can kind of get to the heart of the matter, sort of thing, as opposed to the verbal back and forth with the character, or we can do both. Or you can say we can do the verbal back and forth with the idea that you can state your question and we can role play the way that you move him towards answering the question, whichever you prefer.
I find the role playing a bit uncomfortable, but I don't know about you guys.
The role playing makes more sense to me than just magically getting information.
Okay,
True.
That's fine. Then,
Okay.
but those are the things. If there's questions in the background are ways that you can kind of direct the if you specifically want to push things a specific way, you can use those questions. So these are essentially it's investigation through interrogation.
Okie dokie.
Well, I have a couple of questions whenever there's a chance for that.
Yeah. I'd like to finish up the question about the seed.
Sure.
Because he said it was for the faithful only, and he's crushing up this like painkiller.
Yeah.
And he's
like,
yep. So that's what I was like. I've never been one much to understand faith in Yavo or anything else, but I understand it's a very strong belief, and I have a very strong belief that these won't last forever. As he sort of tosses it to the side, I'm pretty sure we only have a limited number since you cut off our supply.
Mm-hmm. Like, he kind of looks at it like as if you. It says as if you heretics know anything about Yavo. Yavo bestowed the seed upon the cult of the tree back many thousands of years ago, back in the time of King Mierta. We've been hiding the seed since then. The seed is supposed to the seed the seed's going to be the seed of a new Denis that where Yavo's true directives are followed, and we don't have Denis hasn't fallen into such heartless decadence.
So the cult's been hiding the seed since King Mierta, and yet you're trying to find the seed, even though y'all were the ones already hiding, and you call us incompetent. If you're the cult that was hiding it, shouldn't you already know? And shouldn't there be no great search for it in the first place?
We know where the seed is. The seed is in a place of protection. And it's in a place. And
why all the subterfuge here? Feel free to jump in whenever.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
And don't bother. Don't bother trying to torture me. I don't know where where the place of protection is now either.
That's okay. We do. Don't worry about it.
Did you say that?
Those them cards.
I don't think I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I wasn't even gonna say that one. And Leonard was waiting for like,
Can I come upstairs? No.
So yeah.
That would be great though. Scare the crap out of them.
Okay, so what? Okay, we can continue, or if you want to continue the interrogation, if you like.
I was waiting for somebody else to because I know you said like I had like one, so I was trying to push too hard and drive the scene too much.
Yeah, but Tome, can it?
Yeah, well, I would like to know. I mean, the most pressing question on Tome's mind right now is, what did you do with the people of Kennelin who you took away? Several of these people were led away by members of your organization. Why and where?
We needed workforce. Why else would we take them away?
So,
was that about heartless decadence? Like, can you do your own work?
This is why Yavo gave us the ages. There are people who lead and people who work. The Denis lead.
Totally different than the current Denis. I can see why you're slightly.
You're doing a great job leading, being the one who followed people here.
Yeah, good job. Sorry, go ahead, Tommy.
Fine. Can I have the painkillers now?
I think we could give him a painkiller, can't we? Or half one?
I'm waiting for Tova to ask the just like, what's up with my dad? You know, like, or what's up with my parents? Like, I'm waiting for that bomb to drop.
If he needed workers, but he didn't answer if they were still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Toma is still pretty enraged here. I think like if someone tries to give this guy a painkiller, she's gonna swat it away. Like
yeah, like Kenner will definitely like look to you guys. Like she's content to sit there and like lean on the spot if need be. Like, oh,
I'll say Kenneth's the medic. As far as Landers is concerned, Kenneth's the medic here.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just lean on this spot here. Oh.
Okay, no. So what's Tome gonna do?
Yeah. So your justification for slavery is that this is all part of the bigger plan that your religion commands. So you're saying that every single person who you've taken from another age was taken for that reason.
Like my religion. Yavo's truth is Yavo's truth, as it has always been.
The council doesn't see it that way. Otherwise, my book would read a little different.
Ever since we moved away from the king, ever since the last king abdicated, Denis has declined. You know, we say the words to Yavo, but no one means them. We step through the rituals, but no one really cares. Yavo sees the people who care and truly understand. Yavo has seen the tree, has seen the people of the tree, and gave onto them the seed, and that's more proof than any of you have ever had.
If we are so blind, then how have we discovered so many of your secrets?
I blame. You got to look at goes. Some of our people are not as discreet as others.
Some people, meaning people like you, who's sitting here trussed up.
Boy, Elandris.
He's like a 20-something-year-old kid. Like he gives
not pulling
no
any
crap.
punches. Like, oh, me like you.
So,
dumbasses like you.
I think I've given enough that I at least deserve that painkiller now.
He just looks at Tome and then looks to Kenneth.
Like Tome shoots a death glare back.
Yeah, cool. I guess not.
You got to convince her.
It's still confession time, buddy.
You haven't answered her questions to like what she deems appropriate. She's really, really, really anti-slavery. More so than my book and more so than the council. If we drug you back right now, you think they'd go any easier on you than the Kennelites would?
At least it would be justice from Denis, as opposed to these people. The translator and the guy in charge of the locals walks up to Tome, and through translation says, "So, this one, I'm told he sees us as animals.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Would you be willing to trade him to us for as a part of our justice? We would like that, as your friend said, a pound of his skin."
Oh dear. Many ears, they were listening. They understand.
Landers doesn't care.
Killing this man is not going to help bring our missing people back. He knows things, and some of the people of Kenelin, and most likely of other ages as well, have been taken as slaves and are still out there somewhere being oppressed. And if we truly want justice, we need to bring those people back, and we need to get this jerk to lead us on that path. So if you want to help with that, you know, I am open-minded about the techniques that you use, but we can't let him die just yet.
He sits there.
The rules are very.
He considers and goes, "Well, you are the leader of your people, and you've made your promises to us, so we will wait. But let him know that if you do not find use for him, we have use for his skin."
We'll keep that in mind, and we'll make sure he keeps it in mind too.
He's in hearing range, anyways. He's like,
Yeah.
"You're not going to give me to those savages. What kind of thinking are you?"
Technically,
I'm gonna give you
technically, according to the maintainer, guidebook here, subsection 27, paragraph 3, line 42. As long as you don't die, maintaining a positive relationship with age dwellers, especially age dwellers who could be mutually beneficial to the Dunny, and especially in cases where certain sacred laws of Dunny have been broken, it is paramount that the age dwellers be satisfied.
Oh, burn you in your book.
Burn, wow.
I'm sorry, did you threaten the maintainer?
I threatened a heretic. An infidel.
Heretic or not, I am still a guildsman.
Well, from what I remember, you are not a particularly well-regarded guildsman anyways.
Well, then you should be doubly concerned right now, shouldn't you?
This is getting good. This is like a soap opera.
I have given you answers. I have kept my part of the bargain.
And I believe the only thing I actually agreed to was painkillers and a little bit of medical treatment.
I don't believe I
did. All right, how about this? You help us bring back even just one of the people who has been taken away into slavery. You help us do that, we'll think about giving you a painkiller.
Whoa.
It will take. I will not be very useful to you if I'm screaming in pain, which is close to where I am at the moment.
Well, why don't you offer up something to help us believe that you can help bring these people back? Just give us something concrete, something real to help these people who you don't seem to recognize as people, and maybe we'll start treating you a little more like a person.
Okay. Some of the people here were taken to the trading posts in Heller. I'm not sure exactly which trading posts, but they were taken there and taken to the trading posts in Heller to help help with our operations there. Now,
that sounds like you took them there to sell them into slavery, not take them there for work. When you say you took them to a trading post,
I did not take them. I did not take them. That's all I know is that they were taken to Heller to do work.
Well, at least that's something we can check up on. We got that book.
So now you have something. You have more. The painkiller, please.
Yeah.
Like, okay, at this.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will grab him by the back of his head, cuff him up, give it that, and give him some water to chug it with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just burn you all.
I will allow it to happen, especially like
Where are you?
She appreciates Kata's attitude here.
Oops.
The painkiller is relatively the painkiller is relatively quick acting, so he falls asleep relatively quickly.
Okay.
We have a scale.
Good. Well, we can move away from him then, even though he could be faking. So I don't want him overhearing our next phase of our plan.
Yeah.
If we have one.
I think we were kind of ready for a quick break. So if we want to take about a 10-minute break, then we will continue.
Cool.
Hey, everybody who's listening, thank you for listening, and we will be back
Yes.
in about 10 minutes. Shora, welcome back. Hopefully, you can hear us as well. Welcome. We've had our little break, and we're going to get back into the thick of things. Okey-doke. We were um, we were just giving the painkillers to our cultist after he provided direct information that something was going on in Heller. Oh, thank you, Junie girl, for confirming that the sound is good. Okie doke. So, what is the next thing on your agenda?
Do we need to follow up with Mashavan or
Yeah,
have you?
that's the thinking. You know, if nobody has anything
say
specific,
that's-
let's jump to Mashavan for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think what we do next kind of depends also on
Right, that's-
what Meshavan
yeah,
gets from
Because
Devlin.
Laundress is 100% just like going to town, taking the notes, trying to at least like jot out a draft of a potential age for these people, away from where they can see him actually writing. But yeah.
Okie doke. So you were headed off to see Devlin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, you get you make your way to Devlin's home there, and you get directed in by the servants, and Devlin and Adra are waiting for you. And Devlin's like, Mashavan, good to see you. Do you have a report from the field, as it were?
I do. We were apparently cut off from everybody here, and we had a slight interaction with the people of the age who we found, and things were stable when I left.
Stable is good.
Yes.
Adri says, so you've been negotiating with the native population?
In the interest of keeping everybody happy, yes.
Could you expand on that?
Let's see.
And alive.
They are perhaps understandably upset at being, shall we say, exploited by the cult of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
As you recall, the paper that we mentioned. Plus, exploding mountains, burned village. Seems like reasonable grievances.
Were they
In fact,
able to
I have a list.
We'll get back to that. Now, we'll get back to your list there, Mashavan, but did they provide any information about the cult?
They did not. Besides a general hatred, heated dislike.
Fair enough. Is Amet's okay? Is he? Has he been hurt in any way?
No, he is fine. He is providing assistance where he's able. Yeah, he
With
is
his hands
unharmed.
tied.
Okay, so you were negotiating with the local populace. They did not provide any information about the cult. My agent there is in good health. It sounds like.
Yes.
When would I be able to debrief him?
That depends on how. Let's see. No. That is currently unclear.
Is he unable to come back the same way that you did?
He is staying there for the moment to assist with the people. The relocation effort. he's assisting there with that right now.
When you return his communication device to him, which I hope you will, please let him know that he's to return immediately so that we can debrief him and discuss what's happened.
Pointedly not looking at said device in my pocket. I say, understood.
So,
and we'll take care of that.
Devlin says, the indigenous peoples, you said you were discussing things. What's their perspective on the situation?
It took some convincing, but they seem to understand that not all Denis are horrible promise breakers, abductors, and exploiters. The cult of the tree is, we have convinced them that the cult of the tree is responsible, and that we're going to make restitution of some sort. What it is yet to be determined.
Restitution, interesting. And that's part of the negotiations that you've been undertaking with them?
Correct.
Adri says, what did you promise them?
Nothing specific at the time. We did promise that we would address their grievances. I hold up the list again. And
Adri,
that
motions for the list.
I hand it to him. And
this is all very vague.
Immediately.
Let's just say the translation leaves something to be desired.
So,
and promise that I personally would do my utmost to see justice enacted.
Andre nods. Well, you may be the best person for that then, so I will leave that to you. As for my agent, I'd like to have him return as soon as possible, and then now that you've come back here, we can begin to be moving more resources and people into the area.
I'm curious, what happened on your end? It seems surprising that a single person could suddenly disrupt an entire operation of this sort.
Honestly, was rather ingenious. The last person to go through apparently tossed some sort of easily breakable container in the air as he was using the linking book, and when it fell to the book, it crashed open, and the acid quickly ate through the pages. Have to admit, that's not one I've seen before, but we will be stealing it.
It is ingenious.
We'll be stealing it. It creeps me out how much they think the cult of the tree is cool.
Was there any signs of any of the leaders of the cult of the tree, or anything like that?
No leaders. We have one underling captured. He was unconscious when I left.
Would we be able to interrogate him?
I do not know his state at this point. He was unconscious when I left.
Villagers are pretty mad.
Okay, well let's get the people back, the resources back to your local friends, and I'll bring some resources, and I'd like to speak to this particular person personally.
Excellent. Let me send a quick message to let them know that you're coming, and then we'll get this process moving again.
Totally not on this key.
Right. So I bring out my D and send a message to all of you saying, like, are we ready for them to come back?
I have a really bad feeling about this. I I feel like bringing all of
Thomas, you're muted.
My first response is going to be, are they bringing the evacuation book with them?
All right, I asked that. Are we going to have another linking book? Maybe one that's a little bit more
For the
protected?
people to evacuate, not us.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have a place for the locals to move to at this point? Has that been decided?
Devlin says, I actually have have decided to donate one of my own personal ages for the effort. He walks over to one of his shelves and pulls out a book and says, I named this after my father, and he hands you the book, and it says the name is God. I'm blanking all of a sudden. Milrayi. Okay. Milriyah.
Milraya?
Mariah.
Milraya. Milraya. Yeah,
Mil-
that's it. Sorry, I had a blink thing over there, but this is after my father. So
right, father of Devlin or Audrey?
this is Devlin, and it says it's an age that's designed for leisure and others, and some some I'm having a brain thing again. I apologize. It was an age that's designed for leisure and some outdoor experiences and such. So they should find it very comfortable, and there are many resources that they can utilize.
Excellent. I would like to flip open to the linking panel and react admiringly, regardless of what I actually see.
Yes.
What do
yeah,
I
I mean,
see?
it looks, you can actually see some, it looks, relatively nice. The sky is sort of a weird, kind of it's not bluish, it's more greenish.
Hmm.
The plants are these sort of fields of, um, blue. It's not quite grass, but some sort of, grass-like things. But except at the top of the plant, they've got this sort of bulbous bulb.
Mhm.
And you can see that, in the view, it's at nighttime, and there's sort of this sort of pattern of luminescence that goes through the grass every once in a while, just sort of like, kind of like flickers through it, like there's a wave or something like that.
That's cool.
And you can see some you can see some neat buildings there, and that look vaguely in the same sort of architecture you've seen in the Edders.
Okay.
That sort of that very sort of specific architecture that you see in Eddard Dellen and Eddard Sogal. It's obviously patterned after that.
Mhm.
Now, so and Devlin says, so this is one of my more ambitious projects. So I hope you can convince your friends to respect it. I'm kind of going out on a little limb here to providing this, but please do make sure that they treat it properly.
Of course. Thank you very much, Guildmaster. And I messaged them back saying, yes, we have a book. The age looks nice.
Can we get some reassurance that the Relima don't want to interrogate the people of Kennelin about the cult of the tree? I'm a little worried about if we bring all of these people to an age that's sort of controlled by the Relima, how they're going to treat the people. Or
Okay,
maybe
so
I'm gonna send a message about this on her D, just asking like some reassurance that the people will be given some space and not tortured or interrogated about the cult.
so you are or aren't sending a message?
Yeah, she'll send that message to you. Just do what you will with it.
Yeah. So I say, there's been a little bit of concern that, given the history of the Relima, no offense, Guildmaster Audrey, that the people might be, I wouldn't say mistreated necessarily, but inconvenienced. And they have been through a lot already. Could, in order to make this go more smoothly on the part of the locals, can we let them settle in for a decent period of time before
Anyone's debriefed.
asking questions about the cult of the tree? From what I understand, they didn't seem to know much about it anyway.
Audrey, purses his lips and is like, so your concern for them is admirable. And I'll be blunt in the sense that we have no use for these people other than that information. If you and your compatriots can agree to try to find as much information from them as possible about the tree that they may be able to provide, I will guarantee them, I will guarantee that we will do the best that we can to help them get settled. At some point, however, either we have to let them go in the age, or move them, or simply, at some point we have to, when their use is no longer, when they're no longer useful for this particular thing, we simply have to let them go. We will not be watching over them any longer.
Of course.
And whether they stay in that age or not is up to Master Devlin.
Of course. That seems reasonable. We appreciate your forbearance in this regard.
So I would ask, never mind. I can't ask that question.
I mean, if you.
So if there's any other questions or concerns, we can now go to our staging area and begin anew.
That seems like a great idea.
Yes.
Okay. So there'll be a little bit before before they start linking in.
Mm-hmm.
So
I send a message to everybody again, like, concerns about the people. They're going to be left alone by the Relima as long as we do our best to get any information we can. And we are now on our way.
Okay. So you guys receive that back. And what are you doing there in Kennelin?
So, okay, so to be clear, and I'm sure Mashava would clarify this too, Devlin didn't promise they could stay in this age forever.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, he was donating the age as a relief ground.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
Because if we could find the original descriptive book for Kennelin, perhaps the people would want to stay in their home age.
Oh no, Landris already promised them a new home. We're screwed. Landris is going to keep taking notes and working studiously to make these people a new age, or to write a new age for these people to habitate.
Oh.
So that hopefully by the time Devlin's like, get the heck out, we have to be like, I know you just got your eviction notice, so here you go.
Right. On the other hand, with a certain number of people, once they're established, it is often difficult to move them.
Right.
Yeah, we might need to make nice with Devlin.
Yes.
Also want to investigate Heller.
Yep.
To see if this guy's telling the truth.
Okay. So what are you doing then? He said, things there in the age in Kennelan seem to be relatively stable. I mean, in the sense that the people are there. You still got Amit's, with his hands tied. And our other friend
We
whose
should
name we haven't learned
probably
yet.
let him go before all the Relima come through. Probably.
Wait. Before we get a whole crap ton of Relima coming through, I think we need to keep this a small operation where we don't have acid books again. I'm thinking like 5 like trusted people to Audrey and nobody else. We don't want surprise cult members again.
I would
I'm pretty
hope
sure
that
Audrey doesn't want surprise cult members either.
yeah, once his super secret operation got infiltrated once as the head spy master, I don't think he's going to let it happen again.
Yeah, that's kind of looks bad on him. Yeah, we're super good at spying, except when we get infiltrated by other spies. Yeah, bit embarrassing, I think. But yeah, should be small. We should follow that lead, but we also can't just like ditch because they trust us and not the other people, and we need to convince them either that we're gonna let the other Dunny coming through have the cult member or whatnot. Like,
so
I don't know. It's a lot of sticky stuff going on.
Yeah. So while we're doing all our stuff, what are the Kennelites doing to that unconscious dude?
They've actually kind of let him be for the moment.
Okay.
There's still a couple of the burlier locals who are kind of standing around him. Obviously, they've been told to keep an eye on him, but they've been, since you guys have been talking to him, they've been keeping their distance.
Right. I was half expecting them to extract their pound of skin the second we left.
Maybe we should tell them to pack up any personal belongings they have in preparation.
Well, I think they were already doing that, weren't they? After I promised them a home.
They'd mostly just been kind of milling around.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean,
maybe they can be.
When your village is burned down, I don't know that you have many personal belongings left.
Well, I don't know, like if they fled with something and then left it in the bush to come threaten us with sticks. I mean, they had their weapons, so maybe
That's a good point.
they had stuff because they weren't there when their village was burnt down. They all left when they thought the mountain was going to explode. So you never know, maybe they
That's a good point.
peace or something. Who knows?
So yeah, the guy in charge says, we will gather our things and we will gather our other people.
Okay.
Now, Shaman, I don't know how long y'all are walking before you get here.
Yeah, I mean, after a little while, I mean, let's fast forward a bit. A little while, they, I'm guessing that probably Adri's like, would you like to go in first, or would you prefer that we do?
I'll go in first.
Okay. Mashavin links in, followed quickly by, Adri and a couple of also, burly-looking people for after him. And Audrey goes directly to Amit's. He's like, Guildmaster, and they quickly go off to the side. The two sort of burlier people that come with Adri just sort of stand around and kind of between them and everybody else, looking
darn stuff.
kind of tower,
can't sneak around, eh?
Yeah. looking burly and easy to annoy.
They're tall and bulky and have sunglasses and earpieces.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't earpieces, yeah. Didn't goggles,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that from a narrative's perspective, unless you guys have something specific you want to handle here, that probably this situation will get worked out relatively quickly and without drama.
I would like an overly complicated sled for them to carry their belongings from in the forest to here.
So you say without drama, those people still want a pound of skin. And Landris may or may not have inferred that they were going to get it with that conversation with the prisoner. Somebody's got to diffuse that situation.
Also, are the Valyama pretty set on taking the cultist as their own prisoner? It seems like everyone wants wants a pound of this guy.
So yeah, it's a good conversation to have.
Because I was thinking we could. He gave us that tip about Heller, but we haven't followed up on it yet, and he clearly knows more. So I was thinking we could maybe offer him a deal where it's like, so we could turn you over to the people of Kennelin who want a pound of your flesh. We could turn you over to Valyama who aren't known for their humane practices, or you could keep helping us and we'll protect you. Like I don't know if we want to offer that deal, but
it's a great idea. Drag this dude along with us to Heller.
I mean,
I could definitely see this being one of those times, just like, good news, your reinforcements arrived, and then just hand him to the Valyama. Like, wait, no.
Right.
So what's the plan?
So I mean, if we want to do that, if we want to try to get some leverage there and take him as our own hostage, I feel like we should kind of maybe do that before all the Valyama are around.
Agreed. Be like, we're gonna go now, bye. And we're taking.
I mean, if we want to do a little bit of backtrack, we can. And you guys have come up with that idea, then we can definitely do that.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. So this age we're linking them to, is it Melriyha?
Yes.
The father.
MIL, but yeah.
Okay, so there's not an E in there?
No. Not at the beginning, no, it's MIL.
Oh, there is an E? Where is the E?
Well, okay. Myst is what I have here.
So it's totally an anagram of Valyama, people. I'm less trusting of this age immediately.
I will let you know that was not intentional.
Okay.
I'm literally looking at it on the page and like, hang on a minute.
That's awesome.
I was thinking of the Valyama when I was writing it, so I hadn't even noticed that.
That's hilarious.
I've given me an idea now. Oh
dear.
That's true. I mean, that's a great idea, actually.
Nilbog, it's goblins spelled backwards.
Okie doke.
Because even so, like, there's only Adria and two bulky dudes.
Yeah.
They're clearly right now interested in debriefing the guy we had tied up. Might be a good idea to make ourselves scarce.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this dude? That's the big question.
Sorry, with what?
What are you guys gonna do with your trussed up friend?
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna try to abscond with him before they really get their hands on him? Are you going to,
I think your idea was really good.
All right.
What do you guys think? Yeah. Should we offer him a deal?
I think that is going to be more trouble than it's worth. Personally.
Plus, we have the map that we stole out of that other page.
Right. We can't exactly.
We don't want to tip our hand about knowing where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got that map, and you've still, you've written down all the things from it, from that journal. So you still have all of that.
It is a definite risk to have this guy with us, especially given that we also have that information which he might want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, do we need another unstable element in this situation?
Right.
Do we just leave it and let the Valyama deal with the
bringing this guy along is a severe consequence waiting to happen?
There you go.
Okay, but one other consideration. I think that the Valyama want to, bring the cult of the tree to justice, maybe, but I also kind of suspect the Relium will want the seed. I think they want power, and if the seed is going to bring them power, I think that might be their long game that they're playing here. And I just don't want us to bring them any closer to that goal before we know more about the seed. And
I have an idea.
Okay.
Kenneth has some extra stuff in her pack, right? She could
Yes.
just knock the guy out for longer, like they won't be able to wake him up. What if she's like, oh, better give the prisoner some water before we leave? And then
That
at least
seems
it would give us a head start, a longer head start before they were able to question him.
yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yep.
That would
I'm
take
good with that.
I'd give you a medicine roll on that one.
Okay.
It's going to be hard though. Okay.
Okay.
So it's going to be a 5.
Oh, boy.
You want
Does she get
something.
it-
You want something
does-
that will knock him out for a long time, but won't
Let's
cause
see.
any other damage.
Does,
Especially.
does she get? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Does she get any kind of bonus because she's totally done this to Laundress before?
It's like this ain't her first rodeo.
Yeah.
Because I rolled 2 minuses and 2
would that
Like
be an
it's
aspect
meta.
she could invoke?
Familiarity with knockout drugs.
history of bad action. Yeah.
Yeah, history of bad action. That's hilarious. Could we make that an aspect? Because right now I'm sitting at a +2, guys. So,
Did you? And you rolled?
yeah, I did roll.
Plus-
Yeah, I got 2 minuses and 2 pluses.
Oh,
so
okay,
not
so-
terribly helpful. That's a 0. So I got 2.
Yeah, you're
That's
gonna.
all at my
You'd have
medicine.
to. You'd have to get a couple. Either get a reroll or a bunch of aspects in there that you can pull out.
You do have 3 fate points left for the next.
Yeah, and
minute.
I totally can use that. So I think the rock soup thing, I honestly think there should be an aspect that like she's done this before. Like
What are your other aspects?
aspects aren't terribly helpful. It's expert maker of rock soup, work hard, play harder, gonna stand my ground, and my lips are sealed.
Play harder. Familiarity with drugs there.
Yeah, yeah. she does
If
have
since you guys haven't made many changes to your aspects or actually used most of your minor milestones so far. So if you wanted to make a quick change to one of your aspects to the something along the lines of the has done I don't know history of drugging people or something. I don't know. We'll come up with some word
well,
for it.
she has a
but-
history of drugging herself as well.
Yeah.
I think we've established that. So she could probably do some calculations pretty quick and easy, depending
Yeah.
on his body size.
Yeah, I mean we'll come up with some name for it, but I'm willing to go with that a bit because I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you totally did this to Laundress. You
Yeah,
will probably do it to him again.
probably. Yeah. Should I re-roll or because it's only going to give me another +2, so then I'd be sitting at +4.
Unless you have
And you
another
need what
aspect
to
you can
succeed?
think you could invoke somehow. Other than that,
Well, shoot, the Guild of Caterers thing should give her something too. Like,
So, well, expert maker of rock soup could be mixing it with the
actual
water,
rocks.
so it's actually flavorless and stuff.
yeah,
Well, the rock soup thing is specifically about getting lots of people to work together.
true,
Yeah.
true. Well,
Mm.
how about her high concept of being a member of the Guild of Caterers? Like she
We
has
totally
some basic
spiked it.
understanding of chemistry and how
Okay,
to dissolve
I'm willing to
things
go
and
with
how
that.
to make how to make
Yeah.
concoctions. So,
You totally spiked the punch at your prom.
oh, absolutely.
Your parents have never forgiven you
It
about
was the
that
best
time.
prom in history.
Mhm.
Not
It's
that
still
anyone
spoken
remembers it,
about
but I'm sure they
at
did.
Dunny High School.
Yeah, Dunny High School. Oh my
Okay, no, so yeah, I'm willing
Awful.
I'm willing
Even
to
the kids
do that
smoking
one. So yeah, you
Okay.
you give him a little something.
Okay.
And he's going to be sleeping for a very long time. It might almost look they might start to look at is this guy in a coma or something like that. But
Doo-doo-doo.
one of the relay who's definitely a healer, who's a healer, is like this guy is not doing well. We need to get him to facility soon. He's not. I don't know what happened to him, but he's not. He's not. He's not.
They took a
waking up.
pound of skin.
Like, hey, I'm a caterer, not a healer.
So we've got about how much? A little over 10 minutes left. And I'm thinking that we can kind of, this would be a good time to kind of transition to the next story arc.
Mhm.
Where we start following up on, on Heller and that sort of thing. So I'm thinking that we can kind of spend the next 10 minutes or so kind of doing kind of the cleanup stuff of how we want to, kind of, how what you guys want to be doing to kind of prepare for the next, your next big, investigation into Heller and the other places and that sort of thing. So that we start off next session with a significant milestone.
Okay.
And you guys can think about what you want to do for that for the beginning of next session, and then we can kind of delve into the this new sort of stage of investigation and exploration. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the sort of end of the episode montage where everybody's kind of the scene of Kenneth mixing stuff up and slipping the guy a drink. Here's your water. Thunk. Yeah. So that sort of thing. So it's going to be the people are going to start moving over to their age, moving to their new location. The Remelia are at least as far as you can tell holding up their end of the bargain. That sort of thing. So, what sort of things do you guys want to get done in terms of just preparation for your next, things?
I think we should ask for something from the chief that would identify us as being friends to these people who are enslaved, if we find them.
That's a good
Like
idea.
something from home or something that they will
Mm.
recognize in case they don't speak Denny and we don't have an interpreter, that they'll recognize that we are safe people.
Okay.
I think we should ask for that.
Yeah, the chief is definitely willing to provide that.
Cool.
So it'll be a sort of bracelet.
Okay.
Okay.
So once we're back, so okay, I guess pseudo question. Are we gonna still rely on actual HQ or are we gonna go to the new cavern HQ?
Either one.
How much is at the new cavern HQ?
Okay.
Is there stuff there?
We set up there's at least linking books and stuff there that are secure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should, in between adventures, maybe try to transfer more of our stuff
Right. That's
over there.
that's part of what I'm thinking for the significant milestone is to get some more stuff done over there. But either way, I think Landris, this is the time when Landris is going to go through and decode this and like get all these things that I've posted other places that I don't have easy access to. But all that math that I did, like this is when Landris actually sits down and does it because he still's got the original complete like pages and stuff for this thing. So, and then that can give us the actual map, quote unquote, to go off of next time.
Sounds great.
What do we know about Heller? I don't recall.
Sandy and there's dunes. Like that's what we saw in the. And is it the one that had the jar, guys?
It's either the one where you're breaking a bunch of jars and it was a really long walk, or it was the one that was a short walk.
No, it was followed by the stage with the key one in a pot. The key is one of many pots. It's
Right.
not,
Yeah, we
that's
gotta
the longest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
we gotta
Ishmael is the
embrace our inner link. And
Yeah, I think we should bring a shovel with us. Or something.
Okay. Then Mishavan would want to prepare by working on like sunshades and protection from heat and light and that sort of thing. Because we are Denis and we are sensitive to those things.
yes.
Good call. Good call. Okie doke. And Tome, what's Tome gonna be working on?
I think she is practicing self-care because she is a little bit dismayed at how sadistic she became. And she definitely got a little overwhelmed and didn't love that side of herself. So I don't know if there's anything more concrete for her to be working on. I think it's okay maybe for her to be taking a little bit of downtime right now.
Sure. Oh, by the way, the chief of the indigenous peoples would have given the bracelet to Tome.
Okay.
It's become obvious that the chief has considered Tome the leader of the group.
The 15-year-old.
Yep.
I'm known by very, very different job titles to different people.
I love it.
All right. Well, she definitely accepts that with some pride, I think.
There we go. Hi, Mashaba, and Laundress is working on his age stuff. Definitely, think about, over the time, the intern time, think about, what kind of things you want to do with your base. We can talk about some details that you may want to add to it or not. We can, round out some things. And even if you have some ideas for, details for the age, we can talk about kind of, coming up with those. The theme of the age, of course, is God. What was okay? I don't have it in front of me.
Hold on, I got this.
Okay.
Lock is open by iron in the bloodstream. Shelf. Keeping 2 different journals.
Was something along the lines of
oh, I don't have it written
it was
down.
like,
it's in my Google Drive.
Was like an age of savage, a savage age with secrets underneath.
Yeah, it was a Savage Island age with a secret underneath or something like that. Yeah.
So I've been interpreting that as most of the savage in the sense that it's the environment is particularly challenging, and that most of that is underground. The surface actually is pretty bland.
Yeah.
There's been there are no animals on the surface, and only plants, but they all seem to connect to things that are underground.
Maybe we should build our base
wind.
on the surface where it's not crazy.
Well, no, because we had the crazy wind on the surface. That's why we didn't stay on the surface, because the wind was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't ever seem to let up.
Yeah. So that's why we're underground, because trying to write a book in wind is not good.
Not great, no. And the
But
whistling.
Yeah. That's kind of the direction I've been going. So,
okay.
If you guys don't come up with stuff, I'll come up with stuff. Things will happen. Think about the sort of things that you want to do for your significant milestones, whether, and listen, I'd be willing to go with it if you have a couple other little changes you want to make to some of your journey aspects that, you decide, this might fit a little better. I'd be willing to slip those in as well. As we've did for Kenneth. And we will kind of, start the next big arc of the search for the seed.
Excellent.
Awesome sauce.
I'm very excited.
Okie doke.
Oh, yes.
Any last words or comments before we head off? Anybody?
Not that I can think
I
of.
don't think so.
Bueller?
Good.
Well, then I'll do my my usual. If you like what we do, go down to the Patreon and add us there. More things will be coming as they do, as we can get them done and figured out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for responding in the chat and all. Special call out to Junie Girl, who's been very active this time. The next live stream will be on Tuesday. I'll be starting the Exile once again. And then as of right now, the next game, let me bring up my calendar, is set for November 6th. That's the first Saturday. And we'll start talking about, then about, what schedule we're going to keep for next year, since it's almost next year. And
Wow.
we've almost been, this is the 8th session, so we've gotten a lot of sessions in there.
Yes.
So yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else that's coming. I'm sure I'll remember later. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thanks all my players for once again being here, and we will see you in a month. Shut up.
Yeah.
Bye.